Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about transit Neptune Sextile or Trine, one's natal Mars. Now, this transit may manifest in dreams, inspiration, idealism, sacrifice, and fantasizing. This could be in harmony with your vitality and actions. I'm going to elaborate and expound on that. This is where it could be a very auspicious transit for putting dreams into action and having the vitality and energy to attain them. And when you have, you're having basically, it's not basically, it's an auspicious transit and a good relationship between Neptune and Mars. So this is where you can, the actions can be productive in trying to attain, those things you might have dreamed and fantasized about. If the transit Neptune was in Sagittarius, say it could be something, with sports or athletics or publishing or advertising as some examples. Transit Neptune right now is in Pisces, so a lot of, and it's, of course, the transits are generations, so a lot of it can be dependent on the house that it falls in. If the transit Neptune is in the 10th house, it could be trying to attain some kind of dreams connected with business or politics or the government, and just success in general. And this also could be a time where it can be very positive for as far as enterprise and initiative in matters that are connected with the dreams at this point, and you're more inspired at this time. It could be a very good time for inspiration to take the initiative. And this could even be just simply, being, like, say you're at a job and you want to express some kind of leadership prowess and ability, and it may just simply be by showing somebody at your place of employment how to do something, whether it could be a garbage compactor, something very basic, or working like a telemotor, or whatever it might be. And this is also the time, again, this is about it's a good transit for combining inspiration and drive and motivation. This is a time where it can be very positive just for doing things in general, taking action in matters, because it's a good combination of inspiration and having the drive and motivation. It's a very, incentive period where you can have abundance and surfeit of incentive to get things accomplished. And this is a time, as well, where when you have this transit, it can be also just a general positive period for expending energy in Neptune related activities, whether it could be the metaphysical, which includes astrology, or dancing, poetry, photography, chemistry, as some examples. And it's also a time as well where, if you're trying to do things of a physical nature, and Mars is connected to physical energy and physical strength, where you're idealistic but not unrealistic in terms of what can be attained, and accomplished. It could be, like an example, if you're somebody that works out vigorously, and the maximum weight you can bench press is 350 pounds, it's not like you're going to be saying, well, a week from now I'm going to bench press 500 pounds, but maybe you can get to 400 pounds in like 3 months, in terms of the maximum weight you can bench press. And it's about a time where it could be very positive and auspicious for the attainment of what's ideal for you at this time. And it's also a time, when this transit takes place, if you have any issues that are anatomically connected with Mars, such as the head, the skull, the face, sexual organs, this could be a time where if you procrastinated or hesitated on these matters, and there is something physically, going on that's connected with what I described associated with Mars, this could be a time where you can more likely take action on this, because Neptune is about inspiration and Mars is action. This is the time where you can be more likely to do something about these issues, because you have the inspiration to do so. And if you have any issues that I described that are anatomically connected with Mars, another way it could manifest, it could be about being more idealistic in those matters, but not unrealistic. But in terms of dealing with the issues, if there's something you're trying to work through, if there's something with the muscles, or there's just some issue going on with the head, or the skull, or the face at this time. This is a time where you may be able to figure out what you can do and work within, if there's any pain that is associated, or any issues in general connected with those parts of the body that are anatomically connected with Mars. Now, another thing, and it's also, Mars is connected with physical injury, so it could be associated with that as well. If you have your natal Mars in the zodiac sign Cancer, like I do, there could be physical injuries. There might be a propensity for physical injuries connected with the chest, the breast, the ribs, or the stomach. Anyway, and it's also, again, given that Mars is connected with physical strength, it's about a time where you could be idealistic of what you can do from a physical standpoint without being unrealistic in the process. If the natal Mars was in Capricorn, it could be something with mountain climbing or construction, maybe even running a long obstacle course. I mean, Capricorn is associated with obstructions. And the thing about this too is, this is a time could be more positive than usual in matters with the sexual urge and sexual drive, as Mars is associated with that. And also your sexual partners, it might be a time where you're trying to see the best in them, not necessarily overlook the transgressions in those people, but it's a time where you're willing to look at more, accentuate the positive in these people as opposed to the negative at this time. And it could also be a time that could be very auspicious, again, for expressing leadership prowess and ability, having the inspiration to do so at this time. If it's something that, being a leader, and even if you're trying to attain, some leadership positions, such as being like a manager or a supervisor somewhere, this could be the time where those dreams might be more realistic, and trying to attain them at this point in time more so than usual. And the thing about this too as well, when you have this transit, Mars is about courage and fortitude. So it's more of a time to be inspired to do things that are associated with that. And Neptune is also about escaping. And the fact that Mars is about anger, this could be a time where it can be beneficial if you're just simply trying to escape and trying to find some isolation or solitude and seclusion where you could express that anger. If there's suppressed anger, for example, being able to express it in a constructive manner, whether it's hitting a punching bag or hitting the weight, so to speak. This could be that time, or it could be an opportune time to do so. Now, another way this transit may manifest, it could be about inspiration, which is Neptune, in order to take action, which is Mars. If the natal Mars is in Scorpio, for example, it could be action regarding a crisis situation, transformation, something with taxes or insurance, as an example. Another way the transit may be expressed, it could be about dreams, which is Neptune. And having that vitality and energy, which is Mars, to attain. Now, for example, if a transit Neptune, looking into the future, transit Neptune is in Taurus, in the 11th house, it could be simply sustainability, which is Taurus, for the environment, which is connected with the 11th house. And also at this time, Neptunian or Neptune-related people can be more in harmony, in agreement with what drives and motivates, which is Mars you. If Mars is in Gemini, for example, it could be mental challenges, things connected with manual dexterity, such as auto or refrigeration mechanics as examples. Hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. But anyway, now another thing is that if another way this transit may manifest, it could be very auspicious for escaping, so to speak, which is Neptune. To do something, you have the enthusiasm, the drive, and the motivation, which is Mars for. If Mars, natal Mars, is in Aries as an example, it could be combat sports, welding, carpentry, as some examples. And also, too, it could be a time where you're idealistic, which is Neptune. Again, what requires physical strength, which is Mars. And if Mars is in Sagittarius, it could be doing something, with sports or athletics or publishing or advertising. If the natal Mars is in the zodiac sign Cancer is another example. It could simply be introverted activities. It could be laundry, plumbing, cooking, restaurant, culinary work, home renovation, remodeling, as some examples. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.